Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Wish everyone a Shvua Tov and a good Vach, wherever you may be. And we always learn for the well-being of our Chayalim and our Chatufim and all of Klal Yisrael. My wife told me that they were planning a big attack in New York on October 7th that they found out. Did you hear about this?
What?
Amazing. They wanted to attack 770, ISIS.
I didn't hear that, no.
Yeah, ISIS.
When?
They wanted to. There was a guy from whatever, Baruch Hashem, you'll hear about it. But it's amazing. Like I always say, we have to protect all the yearn all around the world. Because the world's crazy. Okay. But today is also David Rich's mother's yard site, Leah Bas Yisrael Zev. Her neshama should have an aliyah. And she should be a Melitz Yosef for all of Klal Yisrael, and a good debate that we need that. we need that. And David explained to me what a wonderful woman she was. So Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to learn now the beauty of Tachanun. I know this is a sore subject to a lot of people. The Filas Apayim Kedusha the Sidra Aleph. Yeah. A lot of people think that, the days that you don't have Tachanun, it's a great day. Right? They come up with a way. There's a yard site today, right? There's another yard. They find a yard site of somebody. Oh, no Tachanun today. But they're losing. They're losing out. They're losing out so much. So much can be benefited by the Tachanun. We're going to learn. It's really one of the highlights of the Tefillah.
Question why it doesn't happen primarily in the Hasidic schools.
Well, they don't learn this. They don't know. They don't know. Okay, we're gonna see. In Breslov, you'll never find that they don't say Tachanun unless there's a day that says in Shulchan Aruch you don't say Tachanun. Okay. Oh, good morning. Otherwise, wow, look at this.
Peanut butter, so if you're allergic.
Yeah, I'm not allergic. My wife is, but she's not here. Baruch Hashem. Okay. Anyway, so let's learn. I just want to give you a little bit of a preview to what we're going to be learning about. So there's something called the Mayan Nukvin and the Mayan Duchrin. Is the how do you the waters? There's a Mayan Nukvin, which is the feminine and masculine. So this is I'm going to explain to you. Okay, that's pretty much the way all blessings come into the world is through this system of the feminine and the masculine. Huh? We ask Hashem for something, and we receive the blessing from Hashem. Right? That's how it works. We ask, we get. If we don't ask, we don't get. Right? But that's how blessing comes into the world. Okay? You ever heard that before? You got it? Yeah.
Yeah, just recently, yeah.
Okay, what?
Just over this last year.
Wow, look at that. See that? Okay, good. Unbelievable. And it's a teaching from the Arizal. The Arizal explains the system very well, how this works, and we're going to be learning about this right now. So here we go. Lacha Tefillah. Everyone have the place?
Wait, where are we?
We're starting Hilchas Nefilas Apayim Kedusha the Sidra Aleph. Okay. Lacha Tefillah Neiflim Al Peneim Shu Bechinas Ha'aloas Mayan Nukvin. Okay, when we after the Shmona Esrei, right? We finish Shmona Esrei. We finish the Kohen gives us a blessing. He tells us B'Ahava, right? And then we get the beautiful blessing. And then the Baal Tefillah finishes the Tefillah. Baruch Hashem Yisrael B'Sholem, right? We get Shalom. We have Shalom. So right when we finish that, so now we're going to be trying to lift up. We're trying to lift up the different klippas that fell down. Let me try to explain this. It's a little bit deep, but we'll try to explain this. Okay. We learned the fact that when we say our Shmona Esrei, we actually rise up to the highest world. We're in the world of Atzilot. Right, we're in that high world. While we're in that high world, we want to be able to make rectifications as much as we can. We want to make as many rectifications as we can while we're with the King, right? We're with Hashem in the highest world. So when we're saying Tachanun, we're still in that world. So now, listen, watch this. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this. Okay, so while we're in that world, we put our head down. Why are we putting our head down? Because we're trying to connect back to the lowest world. We're going back down to the lowest world. Right? We're in Atzilot. We go from Atzilot. We go to Bria, Yetzira, back to Atzilot. No. But we're up there. Our neshama's up there. But we want to make a trip down here. We want to scoop up as many of the klipas as we can, bring them upstairs to make the rectification. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try it again. Okay. When we finish Shemona Esrei, we're in the highest place. So while we're still in that place, we want to take a trip back down here, where while we're connected still up there, to scoop up as many as klipos as we can to make rectifications back up on high. We're going to explain, okay? You understand the concept? So we're up there, so we're still connected to up there. We come back down here, we try to get as much as we can, and we go back up. We take up as much as we can. Okay? Nasa yedei hashtoikikus v'kisufim d'kedusha b'mesiras nefesh. How do you do that? By having your pining, your longing of kedusha. You want more holiness. You feel, because again, the Kohen explained to us what's important in life. He said, Be'ahava, what I really have to love. When I'm supposed to, instead of being mixed up in all the things of the world, I really understand what's important now. And I want more Kedusha. I want more. But how am I going to get more Kedusha? How am I going to get more? By having the pining. I pine, I really want more. I feel that. And that's the Mesiras Nefesh that a person feels. She says, Bechinas Nefilas Apayim. We go down. We're going down. We lower ourselves in order to bring ourselves back up. That's the whole idea of always a Yerida is the Tzarech the Aliyah, right? And here I always like to say that this is the time I say to Hashem, hey, Hashem, look, I'm making my Yerida now. Don't send me another one. We're always going to have downs in our life, right? So you can always ask Hashem, hey, I'm going down now. Hashem, please let this be my down to go back up. So let me get over with. Let this be the down. Okay. Okay, that's in Likutei Maran, and that's lesson 31. Okay, and through that we make the vessels. All right, we form letters, and those letters that we form, that we by taking up those klipas and lifting them up and making repairs up on high, we're creating letters that are a kli to be mekabel the tov. Again, we're up on high. And Hashem granted us a lot of beautiful blessings up on high, right? We asked in Shemona Esrei, we asked for a lot of things. So Hashem gives it to us. But now we have to figure out how to get it down in this world. We have to get it down here. We're up there. So great, we have it up there, but we can't access it. We want to be able to access it down here. So we're learning the system on how to access it down here. While I'm up there, I come back down to this world. I pick up all my junk. Everything that I have down here, I lift it up, I make rectifications. As it's going, I make my rectifications. Those words that I'm saying are the kli. They become into a vessel in order to accept all the blessing. Okay, it's very complicated, but we're trying to, yes, sir.
It says something here about falling on our faces corresponds to elevation of the feminine waters.
That's why I started off by telling you, yes.
What is that?
I started off by telling you, there's feminine waters, masculine waters. When we go down, we're the feminine. We're trying to accept from Hashem. Okay? We're trying to accept from Hashem. So we're elevating the all of this stuff that's down here, we're bringing it back up. We're raising it up. We're raising the feminine up to the masculine.
Okay.
Okay? V'zeh anu goimrim l'sakein hashpah shenimsheches betfila shetia shefa toiv ubracha. We want that what we accomplish with our davening, right? With our tefillah, Shmon Esrei. We want it to be a shefa tov. We want it to be a good blessing. We want good blessing. We don't want junk in our. We want good stuff in our lives, right? Good brachas. Al yedei kisufin shel nefilas hapayim ki ha'ika toli b'kisufim. The main thing depends on a person's longing, his pining, his wanting more kedusha. I want to feel more kedusha. I want what?
What's the Hebrew word they use for yearning and longing?
Kisufin.
Huh?
Kisufin.
Kisufin? Yeah.
Kisufin.
Kisufin.
Yeah, that's the Hebrew word. It means to pine, to long. I don't know how they translate it. How do they translate
They
it?
call it yearning and longing. Yeah.
Okay, pining, yearning, longing, the same idea. Yeah. Okay. Im heim di kedusha mitzayrin oises oisen oisem kli lekabel toiv kamavayisham. And again, if you want holiness, so you're going to be able to get it, and that's going to bring you all of the bracha. That's really where all the bracha comes from. When we have to want more. We want good in our lives, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I need my money in my life, and I need my health in my life to serve you. I need my money in my life to pay my bills. I need the things to do what I need to do with it, right? Not because I found this new gadget that I need, right? And I need my money for the new gadget, right? A lot of people do that, right? And when we want good things in our life, we want to be able to pay. We want to pay what we have to pay. We want to be able to have what we have. Okay. Balkein ein oimrim Tachanun ve'ein neifel al peneyam b'chol yom sheyesh by eze teisvis the kedusha. So wait a second. Here we go. Now, when we know there are days, so you say this is great. I really want to do this every day, right? Why wouldn't I want to do this every day? I want my blessing every day. But when there's some certain days, when there's, let's say, like Rav Shalom said, we're going to be Zeich to have a bar mitzvah boy tomorrow in our shul. It's going to be a bo bayom, which is his bar mitzvah day. So you don't say Tachanun. That's a special day. It's a simcha, right? Or there's a bris, right? There's a bris at the minyan, right? So you don't say Tachanun, right? Or it's Rosh Chodesh, like it was last week. It was Rosh Chodesh. You didn't say Tachanun, right? Because you have a little more kedusha. You have a little more kedusha of your neshama. Feel something else on that day. Your neshama has some extra thing to it. The same way you have on Shabbos, right? Shabbos, you have the neshama yesera, right? We all know that, right? You get the extra soul, you get an additional soul on Shabbos. So these days, when you have extra kedusha, you get a little bit more soul. You get a little more. You don't get as much as on Shabbos, but you get something extra than you normally have on a regular day. Okay? Because when you have a little additional holiness in the day, right? Yesh taisvis nefesh yisera. Oh, so then you get an additional nefesh. You get an additional soul. Your soul is increased. You get some more volts to your soul. It gets a little more powerful. Kamei b'Shabbos, the same way on Shabbos. Rak b'Shabbos shekudusasai gedoyla yesh by nefesh yisera mamish. Oh, when it comes to Shabbos, you get a whole nother soul. It's something, wow. It's amazing. If you can, we have to, again, to feel that on Shabbos, you have to prepare. Right? If you prepare your week, and then when you come to Shabbos, you'll be able to feel the additional soul. A person doesn't work on preparing himself during the week. He doesn't work on preparing. He won't know what we're talking about. Right? If you work on preparing yourself for Shabbos, you feel a little bit more kedusha on the Shabbos, right? We agree with that? Do we feel something else on Shabbos? Does anyone feel anything different on Shabbos?
Yeah, of course.
You feel something special, right? But again, the more you put in, the more kedusha, the more tefillah, the more tshuva, the more you put in, the more you'll feel it. It's there, but you may not be able to sense it, right? It's there. Okay, uv'shar hayomim sheyesh b'hem kitzas taisvis kedusha yesh b'hem bechinas nitzotzos nefesh yisera. So it has some sparks of an additional soul. It has something else. It's not a totally different additional soul, but it's some extra soul, something extra. Okay, sheyesh bechinas nefesh yisera ein tzarich lipol al paneim. So you don't have to feel those kisupin. You don't have to fall on your face. You don't have to say the tachanun on that thing because you have extra kedusha. Notice Hashem gave you more. There's more kedusha in that day. Why I'm falling on my face? Because I want more kedusha. Here Hashem granted it to me, so I don't need it. You understand? We have the extra holiness, which will grant me all of my blessings and everything else because of the holiness. Okay, so that's why I don't have to say it. I don't need the tachanun. Through the tachanun, we are renewing our soul. Through tachanun, when we say tachanun, we're renewing our soul. And that's how we can form the blessing, form the kalim in order to get the blessing, right? In other words, that's what we do on a normal day. But when we have a day that we don't have to say the tachanun because we have the extra neshama, so then we can accomplish that with the extra kedusha. But again, you have to feel that. So in other words, the bris, you have to feel, wow, there's a bris today. Something special here. You know, you're supposed to identify with what's going on. Right?
Our souls expanded on that day too.
Yes. Yeah, our souls get expanded. But again, that's what I'm trying to say. You have to try to identify with it. Right? It's there the same way it could be Shabbat. Somebody that doesn't know about Shabbat, he gets an adusha, but he doesn't relate to it. He can't relate to it. He doesn't feel it. He doesn't know about it. Here we have to work on feeling it. We have to know that there's something else going on in that day. That's the reason why I'm not saying tachanun today. Right? Okay. We're going to explain it more. Don't worry. Ki kvar nischadesh nafshay v'netaysev kedusha b'nafshay b'knisas hayon. Because that day, when there's an additional kedusha in, on the onset of the day, when your neshama came in, it came in with additional power. Maybe we'll use that word, power. I don't know what word to use. I don't know. We're talking about a neshama. We're talking about nefesh. Right, so there's more holiness. So how would anyone like to define
Connection?
that?
Connection?
No, not connection. No. There's more. You have more soul for the day.
More soul for the day.
You have more soul for the day. You have more connection of holiness of that day. You have maybe you have a greater bond with Hashem that day. Let's call it like that. Let's try that. Because again, when I say tachanun, I renew my soul. I gain more nefesh. I gain more soul because of my longing, my pining, my wanting to get closer to Hashem gives me more nefesh on the day when when there is nothing special going on. I can do that myself. I can turn that on. We can all turn that on.
Hashem becomes more accessible that day.
Yeah. He's more accessible that day. Yes. Yeah. Shehem bechinas kevan sheshovas, right? Because the same way when someone keeps the Shabbos, right? He gets his neshama yisera, and then we say like this: Vai of the nefesh, right? We say Vai of the nefesh. Wow, whoa, that I'm losing my nefesh. Vai of the nefesh, and then we know on Shabbos. Shezeh bechinas kisup in the kedusha, right? That when we say the kiddush, right, and we say Shabbos vayinofash, that's when the Arizal says you get your neshama yisera. Vayinofash, I'm getting my extra soul comes into me at that time. Okay. Shezeh bechinas kisup in the kedusha shayidei zeh ba'atzmai nasa nefesh ba'al kain ein tzarich oid lipol al panav shehu. You don't have to fall down on the day when it's Shabbos. Gam came bechinas kisufin because it is kisufin. Ayin sham mavar hativ. You want to understand it again? It's in lesson 31, right? And this is very, very deep teachings from the Arizal, from the Kisvei Ari, and from the Ramak. It's unbelievable. You really want to understand how tefillah really works and what's really going on during tefillah, right? We say the Shemona Esrei, we don't realize that we're in this high place. We come to the place of Atzilot. We're in the highest place. We're in the throne room with Hashem. The highest place. And now when I'm in that place, I want to accomplish as much as I can while I have that audience with Hashem. Right? We're having an audience with Hashem. Your neshama is there with Hashem. It's amazing. So I want to accomplish the most that I can. So when we said there's the Mayan Nukvin and the Mayan Duchrin, right? So when I'm in that place, I want to take my Mayan Nukvin. That's the Kisufim. I want to lower it down to this world. I want to scoop up as much as I can, bring it up with my words, in order to rectify it, so that way Hashem can fill up my vessels up over there, and I can safely bring it down to this world. Right? So we can have more blessing in our lives. We all need more blessing in our lives, right? This is the way we do it, okay? Any questions on this? Any questions? No questions?
I don't know how you feel that.
You don't know how you feel it? Why don't you want to?
Well, I'm imagining, okay, like, you send down a bucket and fill it up, and then you pull it back up.
Yeah. But while you're up there, you send it down. You try to scoop up as much as you can to fix it and clean it up while it's up there. Becomes the vessel. It gets filled up, and then you can take your vessel down with you. Bring it down safely so you can benefit by it. It's a wonderful system.
When do we leave that Atzilot, world of Atzilot? Is it after Shmones or after Tachanun?
After Paya Ashrei and the Volatzia. Right, we're going to get to it. We're still up there. Don't leave. Okay. Oh, that's why afterwards we say the Kedusha de Sidra. That's the Kaddish in the Volatzia. Right, Kedusha, that's called Kedusha de Sidra. Right, Kaddish, Kedusha de Sidra, okay? Kidei lahamshe Kedusha al atzmeinu, kidei sheniya kelim re'uyim lekabel atoy. Because then I'm coming down to the next world. I got to bring my packages with me. I have to get it down to the world of Bria. It's a long trip from the world of Atzilus down to Bria. So now I have all my packages. Heavy, right? A lot of stuff. Hashem laded me with a lot of stuff. I want to bring them down safely, right? I want to bring it down safely. So the Kedusha, the Sidra, Kadosh, again, fortifies my Keli. It fortifies it to bring it into the next world. Again, it's all because of the pining and the longing. You have to want to feel this Kedusha. Okay, Va'al Kain, Oimrim Kedusha, B'loshen HaKodesh v'loshen Targum. Okay, so we learned this before, right? We learned the idea. I'll review it real quickly, right? There are three kinds of language, right? You have Loshen HaKodesh, which is Kulei Kodesh, which is only holy, and then you have the Shivim L'Shainis Ha'amim, right? You have the 70 languages of the nations, which are not pure, which are impure. Okay, and then we have Targum, which is Aramaic, that has in it both good and it bad. It's called the Klipas Noga, right? It has good and it has bad in it, right?
One of the 70?
No, it's not one of the 70. I don't know. It's not considered one of the 70. I don't know. But we said, but even within the 70, we learned that when you're saying Shema Yisrael, remember we said Shema, you could say Shema in any language that you want. Remember we said that? Right? It doesn't matter what language you have to make sure you understand it. Right? Why? Because you have to understand it. And we said when you say, you can purify any language by speaking about Hashem and the greatness of Hashem in any language. You understand? You could fix that by speaking of Hashem. But the language itself, unless you're using it for something of holiness, it doesn't have any holiness. Aramaic is different. It has some holiness in there. And it's used to explain, to qualify Lashon HaKodesh. It was an amazing thing. I had years and years ago, I did business with a Korean fella. Okay, it's a long story, whatever. So he explained to me a little bit about the Oriental languages that I didn't understand. Okay, and this really helped me with this. He said to me that Chinese is all pictures. They don't have an alphabet. Chinese doesn't have an alphabet. They're all different pictures. I don't know how they type. I have no idea, but they're all pictures. He says Japanese is a language that they have an alphabet, but they'll use pictures to define what they're trying to explain. There's you have a sentence, and then maybe like we use an emoji, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to explain. I'm just using something to understand. So they want to define something, so they'll define it with a picture. Okay, we have Lashon HaKodesh, and the Lashon HaKodesh can be defined better with the Aramaic. Right? There's more words in Aramaic, maybe per se, than there are in Lashon HaKodesh. Lashon HaKodesh is a small language. There's not a lot of words in the actual in Lashon HaKodesh. So you have a targum that can define it. Does that make sense?
Maybe the Yamans it's just to read the Torah with the Targum also because of this.
Yeah, that's why the Teimanim, they do that, right? They do that, yeah.
And the Shlemut Lashon HaKodesh.
Yeah, that's the Shleimat Lashon HaKodesh, right. Isn't that amazing? It's mamash amazing, yeah. Because it has in it mixed in the Targum, it has mixed in it good and bad. It was like the Eitz Hadas Tov Ra. It's in Targum. It's connected to the Eitz Hadas Tov Ra. Okay? All right. But Al Kain. Oimim HaKedusha V'Latziim B'Lashon HaKodesh U'B'Lashon Targum. And that's why we saw this before. This is not the first time we're learning this, but again, Rav Nosson really wants us to understand this topic, so he constantly explains this because it's something very important. Okay, B'Lashon HaKodesh B'Lashon Targum. Kidei lahashlim halashon HaKodesh ayedei lashon Targum, because I can fill the Lashon HaKodesh through the Lashon Targum. The Lashon Targum helps out the Lashon HaKodesh. They work together. Shezeh bechina shleimus Lashon HaKodesh, and that is the shleimus, that's the completeness, the fullness of Lashon HaKodesh. Sheikar kedusha al yedei shleimus Lashon HaKodesh. The main kedusha comes when you have the fullness in the Lashon HaKodesh, because again, that's the kli that you want, right? Your kli. So you want to be able to fortify the kli, right? You want your kelim to be fortified. You want them to be strong kelim because you have so much bracha in those kelim. You don't want them to explode. Right, you want those kelim to be strong, so I need to constantly reinforce my vessel. Right, I have a package, and I want to constantly reinforce it. I want to reinforce the package. Okay, through this, through Lashon HaKodesh, a person can come to Shmiras HaBris, which is the greatest form of kedusha. Right. Purity, right? A person being pure comes from Lashon HaKodesh. So that's why it's so important we do Shnaya Mikra V'Echad Targum, right? It's a very, very important thing. You read every week, you read the portion of the week twice in Lashon HaKodesh and then one time in Targum. I hope everyone does that, right? Everyone knows about that, right? Right, it's a very, very, very important thing because again, that's how you get the shleimus of Lashon HaKodesh. That brings tremendous purity to a person. Right, reading the parsha 2 times and then reading the Targum with it brings tremendous purity. What? Any question?
Rab Nachman used Lashon HaKodesh for only Torah and Tefillah, or he was like the Zionists that they also talked Lashon HaKodesh for regular stuff.
Zion, no. Lashon HaKodesh, the Zionists speak Ivrit. They don't speak Lashon HaKodesh.
It's different.
Very different.
But what he did, Rab Nachman, he spoke
Yiddish.
Yiddish.
He spoke Yiddish. They spoke Yiddish.
And only Lashon HaKodesh for Torah and Tefillah.
For Torah and Tefillah, yeah. He wrote in Lashon HaKodesh, and they would speak in Yiddish, yeah. Well, he actually wrote Sipurei Maisis in Yiddish. Sipurei Maisis, the book of stories, was written in him, and they translated into Hebrew, Lashon HaKodesh. It was originally written in Yiddish, because that's what people spoke. That's what people understood, and that's what people read, right? When they got their newspaper, it was in Yiddish, right? Like they still have the Allgemeine, right? In New York, you can get in Williamsburg, you can get the Allgemeine. It's a newspaper in Yiddish. And people still read. That's yeah. Okay. Whenever, any time, kol makom she'ata motzei geder erva, whenever you see the geder of erva, ata motzei kedusha. You can add more kedusha. You have to find and add more kedusha. K'maisha amra b'seinu zal v'al yedei kedusha zu. Shehu bechinas shleimus lashon hakodesh bechinas shmiras habris ayedei ze oisin kelim kedoshim. You make through this idea of the Kadosh, 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 and then you say it again in Targum. Because you ever wonder why you repeat everything in the Aramaic in Volotzion? Right? There's a lot of Aramaic in there. What's it doing over there? We're trying to fortify our Keli. We're trying to fortify the Keli. We're going to see now, we're going to see soon, I'll just tell you now so you understand it, that this is an interesting thing that you see even on Shabbos, right? Shabbos morning, you don't say Volotzion. On Shabbos morning, you don't say Volotzion. On Yom Kippur morning, you don't say Volotzion. You only say, where do you say Volotzion? In Ne'ilah. On Shabbos, you say it at Mincha, right? Volotzion we say only by Mincha time. Why? Because the day is leaving. It's already connected to after Shabbos, so I need to fortify things at that time. On Shabbos, in the day, I don't need it. There's a lot of holiness. Everything's there. But when it comes time to Mincha, when it comes time to Ne'ilah, the day is leaving, I need a fortification. That's why I grab onto the Aramaic, the Kadosh, 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 and I do it in Aramaic. I need more for...
Do it on Yom Tov.
Yom Tov you do it also.
Valentine?
By Mincha. Only in the afternoon.
It's Valentine on the side?
Yeah. On the Chag also.
Okay.
In the afternoon. Every time you'll see, it's always you have Ashrei in the Volotzion. Only during the week you don't say it because you have the Tachanun. Okay, so you don't have to do. Okay, anyway, lahamshich hashefa lamata, because I want to bring the shefa lamata down here. I need the shefa down in this world. This is the system on how to get your bracha in the world. If you don't do this, you're leaving so much up there. You have so much bracha Hashem granted you, but you leave it up there. What good is it? You need it here. We need it to you. We need to use it. We need to be mishtamish with it. We need to use it. Through a person being pure and watching what he sees and what he says and who he spends his time with and so on and so forth is the dependence on what a person will have his kedusha, his kisufim the kedusha, his kedusha, the shleimus of lashon hakodesh, which will bring him more kedusha. Of course, it's all dependent on what we do. Okay, it's all dependent on the holiness. Okay. V'chein shar psukim shel Volotzion kulam heim hishtoikikus v'kisupim achar Hashem yitbarach. The whole tefillah, right? What's the whole tefillah of Volotzion? Please Hashem, give me more Torah. I want to be connected to you. I want the Mashiach. You're asking Hashem for a lot of things in Volotzion. I'm trying to get closer to Kedusha in Volotzion. Hakol kidei l'sakin and l'tzayir hakelim l'toiv, because I'm trying to fix and I'm trying to form my kelim l'toiv lahamshech hashefa toiv bracha. I'm trying to bring more blessing and goodness and bounty into our lives. That's what we're trying to do. So that's what the tefillah is really doing. We're trying to bring what we're granted up in the highest world down. We want to bring it down to this world. How do we do it? We have to want. We have to pine to get more kedusha, to feel I want to be closer to you, Hashem. I want to get closer to you, Hashem. Okay, ki oz hu amshachas hashefa lamata kamuva, as it's written. Where do you find it? In the Pri Eitz Chaim, in the Shar Kriyas Sefer Torah Perikim. Okay, that's where you can find it over there. Now, here we go. Now watch this. Now, Val came. This is what I was explaining to you before, but now I just wanted to tell you then. Val came b'Shabbos v'Yom Tov. Ein oimrim kedusha the sidra b'shachris. We don't have to say on Shabbos and the Chag, right? We don't have to say the kedusha the sidra in the morning. We don't say Volotzion in the morning, right? We say Ein Kilokenu, right? But we don't say Volotzion. Ki im b'mincha, only at the time of mincha, right? When we come to Shabbos mincha, will say the Va'ashrei and V'olotzion. That's why a lot of people don't want to daven on Shabbos. They don't want to daven Mincha Gedola. They want to daven Mincha Ketana, right? Because Mincha Gedola, I don't really need the V'olotzion. It's still part of the day. I need that fortification later in the day. Listen, but if you daven the earlier, that's fine too. If that's when you have a chance to daven, you do it. Make sure you daven with a minyan. That's the most important thing. All right. Ki bechol ein nimshach hashefa ki im b'shas hatfila v'achar kach nizgo hashar. Because during the week, the gates are open during the time of tefillah. But once the time of tefillah finishes, they close the gates. Closed. Shabbos, the gates open. The gates are all open on Shabbos. The gates, it's all open. You can go where you want. It's free. You can go. Right? Aval b'Shabbos, v'Yom Tov, hakol, kol hayom, kodesh. The whole day is holy. Ki heim atzmam ois. We know that the Shabbos is a sign, right? We know that Shabbos is an os, right? That's why Shabbos we don't wear our tefillin. Because you have to have two signs with you all the time. So we say by bris, they say ois bris kodesh, right? The moel before the moel makes the bracha, right? He says ois bris kodesh. Don't. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. He says ois bris kodesh, right? And then we know that tefillin is an os, also is a sign, right? Tefillin is an os. Right, is an oath, right? So you always have to have two. Shabbos is also considered an oath, right? Shabbos is a sign. So every time you always have to have two. That's why during the week we wear our tefillin. Shabbos we don't wear our tefillin because we have the oath of Shabbos, okay? Yom Tov is also considered an oath. That's why we don't wear our tefillin on the Chag, okay? And that blessing is there all day long. When it comes to the Shabbos, when it comes to the Chag. Oh, we only say it at the end of the day. That's when I need my fortification because the day is about to leave. So I need to fortify myself at that time. I don't need it during the day. The gate is open all day. The gate's going to close then. So where the gate is closing, I need to make sure I say the Kedusha the Sidra. Okay, does everyone understand that?
So the gates are open on Shabbat all day.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that we should take advantage of that specifically with what we're asking from Hashem on that day?
Well, Shabbos you don't ask for things.
That's right.
Shabbos we don't ask. We don't ask. But you can ask Hashem for kedusha.
Right.
Maybe you can't ask. You don't ask for physical things. You don't ask for things. But you can beg Hashem on Shabbos. Hey, I want to get closer to you, Hashem. Like that you can do, and you have that, and that's perfect to do on Shabbos because everything's open. But during the week, it's hard to do that during the week because the gates are closed. Right? So, okay. But now watch what he says now. V'chein b'yom ha'kippurim sheyesh oy tefillah yisera. Wow, you have a lot of tefillah on Yom Kippur, right? Right? A lot of tefillah, right? All day we stay in shul. We have so many things to say. Wow, it's amazing. Ein oimrim ki im b'tefillah achroina shu tefillah snila. Look at that. The whole day. We go through Yom Kippur, right? We start off with Psuki de Zimra and Shachris, and then we do Musaf, the long Musaf on Yom Kippur, right? And then we do the Mincha, right? We don't even say by Mincha. It's strange, right? Yom Kippur, we don't say Avolat Zion. You ever think of that? You don't say Avolat Zion. You say Ashrei, and then you say, and then you right away take out the Torah and you read the Kriyas HaTorah, right? The Parsha of Erevah, right? Right, we read the part, and then we read Nafta Yonah, right? And then after.
You don't say Ashrei. You go straight to the Sefer Torah. Don't say Ashrei.
Okay, you don't say Ashrei. Okay, fine. Okay. So you go straight to Torah, fine. But there's no. What do you call? There's no. What do you call? There's no kedusha de sidra, right? Now, what does it say? Hu tfilas neila shu b'gemar hayom. That's at the end of the day. Keep Igmar Yom Oimin Kedusha. There I have to say the Kedusha. This is bringing the same idea, showing you how it really follows suit every time. Right? When it comes to Shabbos, when it comes to the Chag, even on Yom Kippur. Okay? Kidei l'sakein l'tzayer ha'shefa shenemeshocha kol hayom. especially Yom Kippur, right? You want to get a lot of shefa on Yom Kippur, so we wait till the very last time where the gates are about to close. I reinforce everything so I can bring everything into our lives. Shetia shefa kedaisha taiva bracha. Okay, so that's the lesson for today. Now he says Hilchas Nefilas Apayim Halacha Beis Nechlelas Behilchas Nesias Kapayim Halacha Beis. Right, so we learned this concept. We saw a lot of this concept already. Right, it's a review. Right, because we already saw this in priestly blessings base. Now he says Behilchas Nefilas Apayim Halacha Gimel Loy Matzanu. We don't find, it got lost. Halacha Gimel got lost. We don't have it. It's not there. It got lost. We don't have it. Halacha Gimel, we don't have it. A lot of them were lost. Okay, so this is we're going to go now. We're going to continue tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, with Halacha Dalet. Okay, tomorrow we're going to go to Halacha Dalet. Beis we already learned in the Filas in the Siyas Kapayim. Right, Gimel we don't know where it is, and Dalet we're going to do a Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. Does anyone have any questions? We understand this a little bit better now. What Tachanun is? Tachanun is amazing, and we're trying just to review. Okay, so we have the Mayim Nukvim and the Mayim Duchrin. Right, we have the feminine waters and the masculine waters. While we're in the world of Atzilot, we're coming down. We come down while we're there. We're still connected up there. We're coming down over here to pick up as much as we can, to bring it up, to rectify it. How do we do that? By our longing to Hashem. We have to pine to Hashem. The more we want to get closer to Hashem, is the better keli that we create. How to create the keli through kedusha. Right, you have to have kedusha. Right, if a person works on his holiness, his sanctity, then he can have more kedusha because he can have more shleimus of the lashon hakodesh. Right, because the shleimus of lashon hakodesh is connected to tikkun abris. Right, purity. So again, so that's how it works. We go up, we bring it upstairs, we make the keli, and then as we come down from the world of Atzilot to in Ashrei and Avolatzia, we're going to the world of Bria. I have to fortify my kli again with the Kodesh. We are in trouble now? We can. To the Kodesh, to get me prepared to go down to the world of Yetzirah. We're going to get to that. Right? We get into the world of Yetzirah, and then we have to get back into the world of Asiyah. Okay? So that's our lesson today. Does anyone have any questions? Anything need to be clarified? No? It was a lot of stuff, right?
Good to go.
Yeah, good. Wow.
Tachanun will be different from here on out.
What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Be'ezrat Hashem.
That's the beauty of the shir, is that there's always something in my tefillah that changes after learning this.
Yeah, and it helps you? It helps you?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
It's a whole different approach.
It's
Now
amazing.
you're telling me I'm picking up all the sins when I do this? I didn't know that.
You're taking them all up and you're rectifying them.
Yeah, you know.
I know, that's what I said. If people would know this, they would beg to say Tachanun, right?
Right.
They would beg to say that, not to look for ways out of time. They want to beg. They want to, I need this. We need it. We mamish need it. We mamish need it. Okay. So let's learn now a little bit of halacha, right? Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Today I think we're up to letter 12, right? Yud Beis. Today we're up to letter Yud Beis.
Yep.
Is that right? Correct? We got it right? Okay, Baruch Hashem. Here we go. Okay, Beis HaKisei Afal Pi Sheyesh Loi Mechitzos Ein Bai Tzoa. Even if you're in a Beis HaKisei, right? You have that's what they call, here we call it Shirutim, but in Halacha they call a bathroom as a Beis HaKisei. When I first came to Israel the first time, 30 some odd years ago, so yes, on Efrat Beis HaKisei, they looked at me like I'm crazy. I didn't know they call it Shirutim. I had no idea. You don't see Shirutim anywhere in Halacha. You can go through Shulchan Aruch, you won't see the word Shirutim. right? Okay, but
What's the difference between Ivrit and Lashon HaKodesh, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Right? It's but unless in you'll always call it a Beis HaKisei. It's a nice base.
It's also very
It's the house of the seat.
house of the chair.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're in a bathroom, then even though there are stalls, right? There are mechitzos, right? And there's no excrement, right? Like in our modern bathrooms, right? We flush the toilet, it's gone, right? Tzrichin lahachik mimenu, we still have to distance from it because it's still a place that's not clean. So I don't want to be, it may smell or whatever it is. I want to stay away from it. L'chein safsel ha'asui im nekev. If you made a chair, right, a safsel, a bench, well, it means actually a safsel, a bench, and you made a hole in it, right? You made a hole in it. She'amdin tachtav giraf lahafnais olav, and you put a bucket underneath it because you want to use it as a bathroom, right? You want to use it as a bathroom, right? Alpha pisha haitziu as a graph v'kisei as a nekev b'daf. Even though you took out the bucket, right? So now you just have the hole in the thing on the bench on the piece of wood, right? That piece of wood still has the din of a beis hakisei. It's still considered a bathroom, and you can't pray with that in that vicinity of that bathroom. Like we said, the same idea is you can't see it, right? If it's out in the street, so you have to stay away from it. That you can't see it. Remember, like we said, right? You have to distance from it. Okay. So you have to take it out of the house or cover it completely. Like we said, even if there's actual excrement, if you cover it, it's okay. So if you cover up this thing, you put a covering on it, you put a cloth on it or something, so then it's fine. Achim hu kisei hamiyuchad liyeshiva. But listen to this. This is a cute one. Okay. What happens if you have a chair that you normally sit on? It's a chair that was meant to sit on, right? Omechusa bikar liyeshiv olav, and it has like some kind of a cushion or something that sits over it. That's why you normally sit on this chair. Or you take away the cover, you take away the thing, and the person uses it as the bathroom. Right, he empties it, right? Okay, sham v'shuv machzirin olav as hakar bazeh yesh lahakel. That you can be makel on that. Again, the bucket can't be in there, right? The bucket has to take out. But again, there's a covering on it. That's the thing. Right? And it was the same we said before, even if you have a piece of wood, right, that you normally use as a bathroom, right? So then that you can't pray with it being in there unless you cover it. This has a covering that's meant for it. So since it's covered, it's okay. You understand? And these are interesting halachas. They don't really necessarily pertain.
I have one
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah.
You can get it if somebody needs it, they can get it from Yad Sarah. It's interesting, and somebody they have a cover that goes down, and you have to use it to pick it up. What's interesting is that the bucket that's slides in underneath, that they don't give you. You have to buy it from them. They don't want it back. When you bring it back to Yad Sarah, you bring out everything except the bucket. The bucket you can keep.
Okay. Interesting.
Where's that?
Yad Sarah is the place if you need like a medical equipment or something, you could rent it. You could rent it from them. It's an organization, a wonderful organization. So he's explaining if you want to rent a commode from them, you need one of those portable, right. So then the bucket that goes to it, you have to buy your own. They don't supply it. You have to. They don't want it back.
They don't want it back, right?
They don't want it back. Yeah, they don't want it
I
back.
have one of these, like similar for my camping trip.
Okay, so when you're camping, you have to make sure you cover it while you're camping, so else you can't have it. When
Basically a chair with the
Yeah.
and we can use chair for something else, but
you have to make sure it's covered and the bucket's not there when you want to daven.
Yeah.
or you have to be away, a distance away from it. Okay, everyone should have a wonderful day. Interesting halacha today. What?
After your
Yeah,
start.
cold tube, everybody.